Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be reviewing the high-grade 1/140th scale Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam from the Gundam Build Fighters Amazing Ready line. Let's get into this kit and see what we think about it. Now this is a redesign from the original high-grade Strike Gundam model, and it does come with all the other parts, the original pieces for it from the redesign pieces, so you can swap these out interchangeably as you see fit to kind of enjoy your own kit in that special way. Now we'll start off with the V-fin. It does come with the original, but this one is designed to be a little more squared off a bit. But it does have the original if you don't care for this design, but you can swap them out as you like, just depending on your preference. Now the shoulder armor has been redesigned, it's bulked up and has a bit of a spoiler look to it, which is pretty nice. I like it, to be honest. Now the chest armor here has been nicely detailed. It's very edgy, kind of angular looking. Only sticker is there on the collar, and that's not too bad. I mean, easy tape and mask and paint that as you like. Now here on the forearm armor, it is a redesign as well, and it does come with the original design as well in the kit, and you might actually want to use this depending, because it also comes with the original beam shield, but it will not work with this redesigned forearm armor, so you might want to swap those out or just kind of try and mod out the beam shield to get it to fit in there nicely. It just depends on what you feel like doing. Now the front skirt armor has been bulked up as well, and these yellow bits here are separate pieces, so nice color separation, no stickers or anything, and all in all I like the redesign of these. Now over here on the side skirts, I add the dome piece here. It's from the original design, but if you don't add this, you have a hole there, which is very annoying, so I'm going to use this piece to hold my beam sabers, because they're on this design they're supposed to go on the back skirt, which I'm going to replace it with the original, no big deal. So, but you know, see the pegs there. Oh, and this does have a movable butt flap, which is always nice. And then there's this piece right here on the front crotch. It never wants to stay on. You're going to end up wanting to just glue this thing on, or you're going to lose it. So, yeah, just go ahead and glue that sucker on there so it doesn't go in. Now, moving over here to the side skirts. These have obviously been redesigned, if you can't tell, but not too bad. I mean, the barrel of the rifle is still original, but they do have some nice panel lines, details to this. They did a good job on it. But here's one of the bigger stickers, which shouldn't be too complicated to mask and tape off and paint. It shouldn't be no problem. And now they do come with the original, which I'm thinking I'd probably be replacing mine back to the original design, and we'll get more into that reason later. Now the articulation of the side skirts is pretty nice. I like it. It's really smooth, and it allows it to fold all the way to the back of the mobile suit. This is a simple hinge in there, nothing big or fancy, works pretty well. You can sit there and just rotate back and forth, and then you can bring them both back to the back. But here's where lies a little problem here. And well, now it kind of looks like those wire cage skirts from back in the day, don't it? Kind of proofy. Anyway, sorry about that. Now, moving over to the knee armor here, obviously redesigned as well. But at first I thought it was a little too much, a little too big and bulky. But after you get everything together, like with these side skirts and the backpack, it goes in pretty well. It blends in nicely, and you also have some nice detail here, nice lines with it. Looks very good. And the white piece here is also a separate piece. So now let's just kind of see what we got here in articulation. Full knee bend there, nice. Up to the, well, hold on a second, let me get the skirt out of the way. There we go. Not too bad for up front. Works pretty well. And now let's kind of see the back leg, and it goes up pretty well thanks to the movable armor there, so can't complain about that at all. Now the hip here is just a basic peg into a poly cap right here into the hip, so you get the typical, you know, forward back, but you do get some pretty decent hip upper thigh rotation, so that's always nice, and can't complain. Now down here at the ankle armor is not attached to the feet. It's actually two pegs into the ankle, so you don't get it to move with the foot at all. You see this little bit of forward and back, and that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. Now, you do get a nice toe down. That's always pretty good. Looking alright. But, you know, doesn't have too much of a forward movement with the foot in here. There's about as much as you can get out of that, really. Now, here with the arm, it actually just attaches up into the shoulder armor itself, and then from there, the shoulder armor goes in ball and socket into the torso. So, the armor doesn't move on its own independently, which kind of sucks. Yeah, but all in all, the movement's not terrible. You can't really complain too much. You still get the 9 degrees up, so all in all, not too bad. Now moving to the torso here, you don't have very much towards the front. You got a bit of that fin there as it catches, but the back is pretty nice. And then of course, the side to side on this is the best. I was actually surprised about how good the side to side was on this. Let me get this back in focus. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, now the only issue I have is the connection. It has that kind of the L shape up in there where the ball socket goes into the front part of the chest, and sometimes those have come loose on me, and then, you know, it's hard to get them back together. But other than that, it seems to be holding up pretty well, to be honest. Now, when it comes to seam lines, there's only one I can think of off the top of my head, and it's really nothing to complain about. Because this little one right here, the gray piece right here covers pretty much all of it here on the shoulder, because it sandwiches together and that slides right on top. But right here at the very end, it's just a little bit, just some Tamiya wet cement, sandwich it together, and a little sanding, and that should take care of that for you, no problem at all. Now let's see about getting into the backpack. This thing is massive, and it looks completely different, but it keeps a lot of the nice characteristics of the original design with the fin funnels and everything. Now the backpack here has some pretty decent articulation. Here on the wing, or whatever you might call it, you have a nice pivot right here, and then you also have a hinge joint right here, and then you also have another pivot right here connected to the backpack. So you can pretty much get this in just about any pose you probably want. Now these down here, their ball and socket pretty limited. If you tweak it a little bit just the wrong way, has a tendency to, oh, that's not supposed to happen. 1 second please. Now here on the cannons on the backpack, there's supposed to be a blue sticker that runs on the side of this, which I didn't bother with. I plan on painting it anyways, so yeah. And then here, the sights are all separate pieces, and then as well as the thrusters here on the bottom funnels. That's always nice. Oh, and the gray right here for these thrusters, so it's all nicely color separated in that aspect. Now over here on the wing, it spreads open. You can get some interesting poses with this probably, and of course it does do so on both sides, as you can see right here. So not too bad, pretty interesting to be honest. Now let's get this backpack on them and get a look at it with it all on there. And oh, and if you have a high grade that has a typical double peg attachment on the back, this backpack should work just fine with it. So you can give that a try if you have some that match with this. I just don't happen to have any on hand right now. Now let's try and see if we can get this guy to stand up on his own here and get a bit of a pose. And no, come on, you can, and no. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, I'll recommend action base for this kid if you want to do that. Now let's get these positioned forward a little bit over the shoulders. Get this other one up real quick, and as you see, you got plenty of room here. They don't clash with the arm or anything, so don't have to worry about that. Still got full movement of all that area. That's always nice. Now let's get this popped off here. Get a good look in here. It's just two simple pivot points right here, hinged. Hold pretty nicely. It's not going anywhere on you. Now personally, I plan on modifying this a little bit, because I want to change this up so it can kind of pivot side to side, get a little rotation out of that. But that's me personally. Now let's get these positioned over the head here. And as you see, it's not really clashing with the V-fin at all. Get things straightened up a bit. And they go high enough over, keep out of the way. You still have plenty of movement to the head there, so not an issue on that. That's nice. Now here's my main problem with the kit so far. Get these folded out real quick, and here turned around. And as you see, they're clashing. It's too much. There's too much bulk back here. You know, just between these and the funnels, it's just too much going on. I'm going to replace this with the original design in the kit and take care of that problem. It's up to you if you'd like to do the same. Now we'll move on to the shield here, and it does come with the original beam shield, but for this design you'll use the funnel. So we'll get this thing popped off here. Alright, you see the 3 peg slots right there where it fits in. Now this little piece, there's nowhere to put it once you take it off, so make sure you keep track of it or you'll never see it again. Alright, we'll slot this sucker on here real quick. And there we go. All in all, it's a pretty sturdy fit. All looks well. Now, there we go. It does tend to clash with the shoulder armor here, which kind of sucks, but I bet you if you work, you can probably get some pretty cool poses out of it. And, well, what do you know, it actually wants to stand on its own this time. Anyways, on to the accessories. Of course, you get the basic holding hands with this kit. Nothing too fancy about these. Comes with just about every high grade. But you do get an expressive dynamic hand, which is nice. You don't typically get these with a high grade, so happy to see these for a bit of a change. Can't go wrong with one of these, but it's only for the left hand. Now, for the beam rifle, it's different, that's for sure. Not quite my cup of tea, but all in all, it is interesting and very unique. But to me, it's like an afterthought. They decided to throw some fin funnels on the side of it. So, but hey, if it's your thing, enjoy it. Now, you can remove the fin funnels, they just slot off to the side right there of the rifle. Now, me personally, I like the design of this rifle. It looks good. I'm going to paint it and detail it up how I like and keep it pretty simple in that sense. But I did have one person on my live stream build of this that gave me a great idea for this, the funnels with this. And sorry I can't remember your name for the life of me, but something about making this into a sword, and I thought that was a great idea. So it's some modification I'm going to try and work on. Now, in conclusion, this is a great kit. It has a whole new look to it while still keeping the nice aesthetics of the original Strike Freedom. And for 22 USD that I found it for at my local hobby shop, you can't go wrong with it. No complaints at all. I can't wait to finally get a chance to maybe do some painting and a little bit of modding on this. Now, hopefully y'all enjoyed this review, and I would appreciate some constructive criticism. Always is welcome, so please feel free to leave a comment in the bottom. And until then, I'll see y'all next time.